Hey everybody, BarrenDome here, and today we're going to do a base tour. And this is going to be an actually different kind of base tour because it's not just a normal player's base we're at. We're actually at one of the bases built by Hausemaster. If you don't know who Hausemaster is, he is the supposed owner of 2B2T. And today we're going to be taking a look at one of his very old bases. And I can kind of get that information that it's an old base based on the things that I've seen. And I'm gonna warn you, it's not an exquisite base with these huge builds. It's nothing like that. There's a couple little builds here and there, but what makes this base unique is not the builds, it's the destruction. And when we get to it, you'll understand why, because it's kind of a coordinated destruction, but I'll show you more about that. There's other things that were found here that link to Hausemaster. There was some signed books that were here. Another player has already taken those. I didn't get a chance to get those or get a copy of those, but it was verified that the books found here were signed by Hausemaster. And there's a couple signs here and there, and a couple of the little builds that link this back to Hausemaster. So we're gonna kind of just walk up. I'm gonna tour some areas, show you a couple of the things, and we'll go from there. So let's get started. So when I came through the nether, this was the portal room that I came into. Nothing special, just a simple portal. Just up some stairs. We're gonna head up here. Now there's gonna be something I'm gonna show you. It's not exquisite, it's not gonna be incredible builds, but it's just gonna be interesting to see. You are gonna see signs for players that were here before me, the ones that discovered it, like 123 Fly, and a couple other ones. So when you see some signs, those are from the ones that just recently discovered the base, but I will point out ones that were originally created by House and some of the base mates that were here with him or some of his friends. So right up here you'll see there's Flies, Ginnies, 4 pilots, and couriers were all here before me, and then there's my sign right there. Unfortunately, these signs no longer exist on 2B2T. Courier and I completely griefed the rest of this base, so if you actually come to this location now, it's a pit. Nothing's here. So this is a world download I'm on, and I took of it when I was here at the location. What you're going to find is that a lot of these particular chests that I find have basic items. Nothing's really out of the way or exquisite. That's just an interesting thing to see. 7 dragon eggs. There were some oak leaf offal blocks, but nothing, no items with like crazy enchantments on it. It's actually surprising, like a lot of these chests aren't like completely full, because I would think if Hausemaster actually was abusing his privileges, these would have been completely full of building materials, which they're surprisingly not. And you'll understand more of that when we get further on the tour, because the chests in here have stuff in them, but other chests we'll find will be surprisingly empty in their location and just how they're placed. This is just all like regular stuff. Smite 4, that's something like somebody would make. An efficiency 4, breaking 3. Price is not an efficiency 5. The silk touch. Obviously, a lot of these, well, all of these will not have mending, because mending did not come out when this base was made. So just realize that. So we're going to head out now, and we're going to start seeing some of the areas and some of the other builds. I am going to warn you up front. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. As with anything on 2B2T, there are things here that are racist or may offend people. I want you to realize this. This is an actual place. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. When you see stuff, understand this was built, and just put your big boy pants on, big girl pants on, and understand that. So I'm going to show you some signs. Please don't get offended. If you do, sorry. So obviously, first one here. Nick was one of the base mates here, so that's why that is there. And we're going to see some other signs. A lot of them were hidden around, so it's kind of interesting to see. And I'll get out to those. So here's the simple pathway. Like I said, nothing is spectacularly crazy built. Not like these big builds. That is cool though. 2x3 door. So here was an area that was kind of destroyed and just left like this. All these chests were empty. So I'm thinking they probably destroyed the area when they left. But yeah, every single one of these was empty. Like I said, the players that came before me, they came in and inspected the chests. So the chests that are out and about, not in the building areas, they were hoppered and all found to be completely empty. So we're assuming that when House quit or when House left, he did a command to completely empty all the chests around here. So you see there's chests there, some there. We'll get to, there's more over there, which we'll get to. That's a loud crow. This, I always wonder what this was. I'm almost thinking this was like an old school duper with like, you put a block in there. Probably do that and it does something. I'm guessing. A lot of the older dupes I don't know anything about. So if I don't know, I'm sorry. I'm just guessing. This has got to be another one. This is probably a rail duper. Yep, this is a rail duper. You put a rail right there, and it would just dupe. It would stick to that and slide off. Yep, all these are empty. And we'll get to some areas, but I kind of just want to show this off just because of the weird placement that these things were done. It's not done in any build. They're just put out in the ground, and he just does the weirdest things. And you're probably wondering, yeah, Barren, sure, this is Housemaster's base. It's just random junk placed around. No, you'll see in a little bit how you know it's Housemaster's base. And like I said, there were other items that some other players took already, such as signed books by House, that were his. Just a simple wooden build. Nothing too spectacular. It looks like pretty much any other base that you would find abandoned on 2B2T right now. They didn't really have anything. What I am going to do right now is start flying around so we can see a little bit more, a little bit faster. But you kind of see how these chests are all just placed around. Every single one of these is empty. Nothing was in them. Here's a cool little build over here. This is actually a mob grinder. Come up here. The mobs would actually flow up from down there, and you would come up here. I think they would all drown. I think that's what the thing about it was. And the items would flow back down right to here. Yep. Because there was no hoppers at the time. So let's free cam down and kind of show you the old school. Look at this mob grinder. This is the old school. You don't see these nowadays on 2B. Mainly because mobs do not spawn like they used to. When you've got 200 players on, it's hard for any mobs to spawn. But yeah, look at this. This is a really old school. Look how far down that goes. This is designed for... I don't think spiders would spawn here, because I think spiders need a 3x3. You know, because I haven't need to build mob grinders in for so long. I've forgotten how to do it. So I think this is built so spiders do not spawn. Just skellies and zombies. Yeah, he had an auto sign maker. So when you put down, a lot of hack clients have this, where when you put down a sign, it would automatically type out what was said on it. So I honestly don't think you'd spend the time retyping the exact same thing on every single sign. Yeah, once again. In case you didn't know, House was a bit of a racist. Maybe still is. Yeah, this is an old school. It goes all the way, and they would start walking, and they would come right in here. and then they would flow right up into the top of the mob grinder. Drown, and then you can just stand here and collect all the loot. Yeah, just really interesting. Yep. You're gonna see a little bit. Sand and gunpowder it seemed to be House's biggest collections. Alright, let's head on to another one. So right here is a pre 1.8 village. I can tell that because the pathway is actually gravel. Newer villages are actually dirt pathways. And when I did the world download, there were actually some pre 1.8 villagers here that had some of the old school trades. But unfortunately, my world save did not save them. But it is what it is. But the village is here at least. And there is a sugarcane farm here. Completely a passive, no redstone or nothing. And there was a chest here, but it was completely empty along with an ender chest. So let's go find some more around here. Now a little bit to the south in the jungle area, in case you can't see it, I'm coming out right up on it. There actually is a glass sphere right here. When I was flying around getting the world download, I completely didn't even realize it was here and flew head right onto it. That was pretty funny. Yeah, completely glass sphere, torches inside of it. Nothing else other than that. No signs, no banners, nothing. It's a sphere. Alright, let's go look for some more. Also nearby to the east is a old school desert temple. And you can tell because it has the orange wool instead of the terracotta. And they started doing terracotta in Minecraft 1.8. So this is pre 1.8. But from what we're seeing, this whole area is pre 2014 is my best guess. I mean, that's when the land was generated. But who really knows after what point was he still building after that? So this area is very interesting. This is actually a sand duplicator. This is a very old school one. It dealt with moving pistons and moving sand back and forth. So the piston on top would shoot it out and it would just keep duplicating the sand back and forth, back and forth. Unfortunately, these don't work anymore. But a lot of the old school 2v22 bases used to have these sand duplicators. So they would make a lot of sand, kill a lot of creepers, and make a lot of TNT. And it's also quite interesting of how the chests are stacked. I don't see many people doing this with chests anymore. I think this was because you'd have to pillar up and then you'd have to click on the side of the pillar to put a chest down. I don't think you could right click on a chest at that time to put another chest down. Could be mistaken. Probably am, so forgive me. But yeah, most of these were all full of gunpowder and sand. And what's really, really interesting, you didn't see a video a couple weeks ago from somebody about how Hausemaster hated dragon eggs. He liked to keep a lot of them around here, so he definitely was duplicating dragon eggs. Get out of here. So they were definitely making TNT here. Okay, what I'm going to show you right now is probably the first real evidence that this base was Hausemaster's, mainly because of the worldedit command. If you don't know what worldedit is, it's a tool that you can use with Minecraft servers if you're the admin, that you can select 2 points and you can completely clear an area, or you can fill it with something, or really whatever you want to do with it. And what I'm going to show you is clear evidence that he used worldedit to completely clear an area. Right here was the start of a base, or a build per se. And there was some stairs going up, and then nothing. And then you have half of a build right here with a floating chest, and then a bunch of floating chests here, and another part of a build. So probably what happened is that he selected 2 points, cleared it, and had the terrain regenerate. Because that's the only thing I can think about why the terrain is still the way it is. Unless it was just a floating castle like above this point. But then again, you have the tracks coming up right here to an underground station. But yeah, all these chests were empty. And half of a build right here. It's very interesting. And a rest block. And there's also this thing. I couldn't figure out what this was other than a torch tower. Because it just goes right to there. That's it, nothing else. So there may have been more behind this that something else was connected to. But yeah, you can clearly see. I mean, yeah, someone may have been building the stairs, but no one builds a floating part of a castle right here. I think what he did is when he was getting ready to quit, or something was going on, he just did a quick, world edit command to clear out big chunks of the world, and had areas where chests were at completely emptied. That way nobody can take, if he put anything in these chests, what may have been some illegal blocks or some other stuff. Alright, let's go check out some more builds. So here's where we kind of started. So here's some more chests just randomly placed. All of them completely empty. Not stacked, just placed along the ground and no rhyme or reason. Just kind of weird. I don't know anybody that just does that. Now you definitely don't see these nowadays on 2B2T. No one makes farms like this anymore on 2B. They're usually either flat, or they're micro farms, or they're no farms at all, because no one really needs this much food anymore on 2B. You just don't see that anymore from players. No one makes, and this is an automated farm too. He can flick a switch, and up here, it drops, the pistons drop the water, and it completely flushes all this wheat way down to here. You know what? I didn't do this when I was here. Let's do it now. I haven't used an old school farm like this in forever. So it's just washing all the wheat. Yeah, remember, like I said, back in the day, there were no hoppers. You couldn't automatically collect anything. Look at this. Wow. There's a lot of stuff coming. Yeah, really no one does this anymore on 2B. A lot of the skills that people use on 2B are just, they don't do anymore. Now, if you'd seen some previous builds by Hausemaster, there's some old videos on them. He had a base called Hitlerville. He made swastikas and stuff like that. That was his thing. Well, he did it here too, so let's take a look at this one. So this is one of the swastikas that was here at Hausemaster's base. That was confirmed to be his. I guess he was very proud of it. But it's blown up now, so no one has to worry about that anymore. Okay, so now we're going to get to the very last builds of Hausemaster's base. So once again, there's another swastika. But like I said, you don't have to worry about that anymore because I blew it up. But this is just a giant wall. And then there's this. So, I mean, yeah, you could probably... This could probably be done by hand. It doesn't... Not how I would do it, because usually what I would do is if I was clearing a giant area, I would just turn on Nuker, just walk the pathway, so it would not be as straight as this. But I mean, you can even tell, like, right where he's got right here, these dirt paths, they were just completely cut off. So probably what he did is he, from that corner, I mean, you can even tell. You come right here, that's a straight line. Like, why would you clear that area out? And they did the same here. So he probably did corner, I'm gonna say, to right here. And he just did a clear. Not sure how high up, probably right around here, since I don't think that area was built any higher than that. But this is most interesting too. So we had this like Greek Parthenon thing being built here, all cobble. There may have been probably a bunch of chests in here or something, but he just completely cleared it out. Because nobody builds anything like this. No one just builds a wall straight up like that. There clearly was something here, and he got rid of it. I mean, yeah, you can do this whole flattening by hand. Obviously, that's no big deal. Anybody can do that. But just the evidence of clear corner to corner clears, just apparent. So I hope you enjoy this tour of Housemaster's base. I know it wasn't an exquisite, huge build or anything like that, but it's interesting to see something that Housemaster did and ways that he did to get rid of his evidence per se. So you can see that he did the world commands to delete things out of existence, probably because he had stuff that was not survival per se, and he's trying to keep his server vanilla. But it's interesting to see that, you know, he lives by one set of standards while he forces a different set of standards on us. That's how I see it. Well, with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head out. Unfortunately, like I said, if you come to this location, nothing's here anymore. Me and Courier 6 blew it to hell. It was fun while it lasted. So if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I'll get back to you. Catch you later. See ya.